Welcome to Live Journal, and when you open up the website, this is exactly what it looks like. And if you're not familiar with it, it can be overwhelming because as we scroll, we are seeing multiple kind of blog posts from people that we don't really know, but that is because we are not logged in. So if we log in, which is super easy, so I've already created an account for myself, but we can always do this through Google, which is something a lot of schools use. So through a Google account, students can create an account, but I've already created one. So if we log in and we see what happens here, here is where my home screen takes me to. So I am not subscribed to anybody just because I made this account just a few minutes ago and played around with it, but if I were to be subscribed to anybody, here's where they would be coming up, and I can click on any type of journal post and it's going to open up a new tab, which that is doing right now, and this is someone's journal post that they have created. And so this is kind of a fun tool for a blog that it's really easy to use. It looks overwhelming, but it really is not. So if we go to my own profile over here, which is loading, I have a welcome screen because this is my first blog that I've already posted. So, and you can see my entire blog because it's not very long, but it just added a welcome post for my students to see, just help inviting them to create their own blog post when they do this. And so this is kind of just fun, and of course I can edit it just because it is my own, but if anybody else did that, they could not edit my own. And then we could see my friends, who I do not have any friends, but of course this would be students and other teachers who I have invited to collaborate with us, and we would see all of their posts all at once. And then we could see only their journals and all of these really cool, unique communities over here. And so because of this, I'm going to go back to my profile. So for the general description of it, it's basically a blog, an online blog, and that I could use to not only search and create my own community, so I could do this on my own with my own teachers, a school community within teachers, and I could find my friends in different communities right here, which is really, really cool. And then of course when I had friends, I would just click this friends feed and it would bring me up to that. And I am my only friend, so that's why this is only popping up. And so because of this, I could, and then I can save my own save posts and come back to them over here as memories, which is really, really cool. So if I really like something, I could save it and I could find it really quickly. But overall, this is a blog website where I can create my own posts and students can create their own posts. The cool thing is that they can add their own text, their own videos, their own animations. They can add almost anything in here. And of course, you can see how I bolded my words just to kind of just point those out a little bit. And I added my own Bitmoji, which is of course a picture. And so it's really cool to play around with and see. And so I really like this part, the communities. So I don't have any communities, but this is how I would use it. I would add every single student would have their own profile, of course, on LiveJournal, and then we would be all in a community together. And this is where we would see. We wouldn't really mess with that homepage really that much. We would use our communities. So we would have a class community, and of course, then we could have, if we have group works, we have group communities, and so they have their own little posts and their own blogs, and that they can see each other's. And so here we can create posts together, posts separately, all about the same topic and the same idea. And so I can create a community on each topic of a week, or just a week in general, or a unit, especially for science, if we're blogging and we're taking notes and we're communicating on ideas and theories and etc. like this. I would create a community based on that one idea. So if we go over here, I'm going to post a new entry just to kind of show and play around with this. So my title, I can create a title. So hello. And then I could type here. So I could start and begin typing immediately, or I can hit this plus sign, and this is where we can add our pictures, add our videos, add anything from my cloud, and then we can even add from Instagram, which of course we wouldn't use that in school, and then we can create our designs with Canva, which is really awesome because that's something that I am very comfortable with and I love using, and so designing with Canva could be really easy here. And then we can create web links and then codes. We can create a poll, dividers, and then cut out whatever we've made in general. And so because of this, this is just really easy. And if I don't want to do that, I just hit X and then I can type again, hello and welcome. and it's super easy. And of course, you just saw me misspell welcome. So it's really easy to also autocorrect our students so that we're also understanding our grammar and our how to spell words. So it really kind of catches that. So students are really focused on creating the product instead of making sure the product is grammatically correct. And so this is a really cool feature and instruction. And then I'm going to go ahead and add a Bitmoji, which I would have to hit up here, which I have as a extension. And then I would have to copy the image and then paste the image. And then this is how that is inserted. And it's just super easy. So students can do this from and then I can create a caption, which is awesome. And then I can continue typing, adding, etc., whatever I would like down here. And so because of this, students can use these to create anything online. They can insert anything that they've researched or seen in their own units, and it's really cool. And then of course, if this was something I would find online, I would cite this picture here, which is really cool. And so then I don't have to worry about having a bunch of lists down here of all my sites. It would just be underneath the picture, which is really, really easy, and it really teaches students that they can do citations super easily. And so the potential use for this, I would again use this as a blog for entire class. So I think I would love to do one each week so we can just kind of check in on each other, have a blog of the week on a Monday, and then students post by at least Wednesday, and then you can comment on posts I'm just going to go ahead and publish just to show you just how easy this is to publish. And so as that's loading, and there it is. And I have published another blog post. And then if you go back to my profile, now I have 2 down. And then you can leave comments on posts, and so I could leave a comment, and then students would be able to comment back to each other by at least on a Wednesday. Nice post. Of course, they would have more than that. And they can comment back to each other, and it's really fun, and they can interact with each other this way, and then I can like the comment and reply to other comments as well. And then if we didn't notice that, I could just like a blog post as well, which is super easy. And then, so this is great. So students can communicate with each other, just kind of check in with each other, talk to students that they maybe don't talk to as well throughout the classroom. And so that's really fun. And then also I have created units before where I use PowerPoint to use a kind of a journal entry, and it's just kind of it's more of a template, but everyone's template looks the same because of course it's PowerPoint, and it's shared through, well, it's Google Slides, and it's shared through the entire link. So the link looks the same for everybody. But for the blog post, everybody's blog post can look completely different, and they can put their personality into it. It's so much fun. And so I've created units where we read a story or a historical fiction, and then they have to put themselves in so-and-so's shoes and write a blog post based on this prompt. And they can create an entire post. They can create pictures, a video of themselves. They can insert ideas and links from the internet based on their research, and then just go on based on that. And it's so much more fun. And then they can see each other's comment, what they like them, and anything like that. And so that's what I would do with this. And then of course with the communities, which is super cool. So I would hit this and create community. And here I can actually make it so anybody can join, or nobody can join, or of course moderated, which is what I would do. So my kids could create their own, and then it's just the easy account. Only the non-members cannot post, so maybe they can monitor other kids. They can see how other groups are posting, but not actually post on them. And then everyone can post. And so it's just super, super easy to create communities like this. And then, of course, it would just go underneath your profile as your community. And so this is super easy to use, super user-friendly. The only potential problem that I would see is that I can still hit Live Journal right here, so the home, and as it's loading, you can see that it's going to take me back to the home page where I can see everything. So here I can see students getting distracted just because they would like to, and of course there's ads for games, live journals, other communities, and so here I can see a problem with students getting distracted if they are not on task. But of course we love our teacher apps like Kapara, where we can watch students and they can make sure that they are on task, and just making sure that students are doing what they're supposed to be doing, of course. So if we are investing in our students and we're interacting with them, they shouldn't be really getting that much off task anyways. But I can see this being a problem if students are just posting on their own, or like whenever they want to get on, they can definitely see some different things. So I would have to figure out how to possibly make sure that doesn't happen. But of course, if not, this would be the main potential problem that I could see for sure. And then, so I'm just going to go back to here as I explain a little bit more. So this web tool really does allow students to focus on the task at hand, because if they are already in a community and they're already doing what they're supposed to do, and I have time set aside for them to do this, they're going to be posting, they're going to be interacting with each other, commenting, liking, fun things like this. And so they're going to be on task, and it really makes them focus because it's not a template that they just fill in, and it's not boring. It's exciting. It's completely blank, but it gives them all the tools they need to create a fun product. And so because of this, besides the distraction of hitting on the home screen, but if they just do not do that, which is something they're not supposed to do anyways, it really isn't a distraction at all. And so this technology does kind of create, it creates motivation for students, because they want to create a fun blog post. They're going to have free range to do these things, and because they have so many opportunities when they post new entries on how they go about this, so many ideas they can add on top of already their typing, they are going to have such much more fun, such an interaction with this tool, and it creates motivation to create a blog post that they're really proud about, especially since other students are monitoring, commenting, liking, and seeing these as well. And so when I mentioned the communities, we go back to I'm just going to go back to my home screen, but when I mentioned communities, this can really create that co-use, because as seen, I can make one student be the typer for the day. And so groups get together, especially in my science groups, I like to have rotating roles. And so we have like a note taker, and we have an experimenter, we have the lead scientist who is kind of just in charge of making sure instructions are followed, and then we have our maintenance person who's cleaning up and making sure tools are put back on the trays and just used correctly. And so because of this, our note taker person could be in charge of doing the post for the day. And so, but because they're in a community, they're going to see everything. So I can say lesson 3, if that's our lesson, and then our note taker takes notes here. And then they, of course, they can add the pictures they can take on their whatever device they're using. They add those pictures in, and you can see exactly what is going on. And then when they publish this right here within their community is going to get that entire notes. And so everyone's going to be able to see it. Everyone's going to be able to access it. And then, of course, if they need to edit it, that note taker would go and edit it later. But it's super easy. So it's that co-use of co-engagement, so that students are using one device for all students, but they're all still engaged within the context. And so ideas from the Triple E website that I loved are teacher monitoring for engagement. So teachers, of course, are monitoring, so we don't hit, when I go back, we don't hit that live journal home area, and we don't get distracted, so we're still engaged. Student self-reflection monitoring, so students are doing this by creating their own posts and commenting on others and seeing who is commenting on mine. Maybe I'm not getting so many comments, so maybe reflecting, what am I doing that maybe I can step up a little bit more? Or am I just doing it enough, and maybe I can let my teacher know that, hey, I'd really like a comment to let me know how I'm doing. Because they're self-monitoring, they're self-reflecting on how they are doing based on interactions between their students in the classes. And then, of course, that co-use that I explained in the groups and the science, that was just an example, but anything like that is super easy to be used. And so overall, LiveJournal is really easy to be used. There are small distractions to that potential problem of getting distracted, but again, if the teacher is engaged within the students should not be getting distracted anyway. So that is LiveJournal in a nutshell.